Hey guys, this week is Mental Health Awareness Week. So this is all about raising awareness around mental health and things that we could be trying to look after ourselves, but also knowing where to turn to or where to go for support when we are struggling. It's been a really tough, crazy year. With lots of high stress levels. Potentially we've experienced anxiety for the first time, and perhaps our mental health might be struggling a little bit. It's completely okay. Hopefully some of the tips and tricks and support avenues that we talk about this week will help you look after your own mental health. I thought I'd start Mental Health Awareness Week off with a bit of a story about me. So when I was 18, I went through a significant period of unhappiness lasting for about 9 months. Now, unhappiness is quite normal if we're having it, an occasional day here or there, or potentially unhappy week to week. However, if it lasts for extended periods of time, it can be potentially quite detrimental to our mental health. So what I'd gone through is I'd changed, a massive change where, at high school it was all about basketball, playing sports, and I guess really just focusing on that sort of area with no stress. And I changed into a accounting role in my first year out of school. So that was very high stress for me. I was also studying full time as well, and at the time my resilience levels weren't ready to cope with that sort of change in my life. I started becoming unhappy. My sleep started being affected. I started noticing that I would become a little bit withdrawn from certain social situations, to stop putting myself out there as much as I otherwise would have. And this went on for about 9 months. I started engaging in self-destructive behaviors, where I'd use alcohol to try and help me sleep at night, because I guess at the time that's what I thought was all I knew might help me relax. So I was drinking most nights, and I knew it'd become a problem because I was hiding it from my family who I was living with at the time. So most nights I would potentially have a couple of shots just before sleep, because it helped me relax and get some sleep, because otherwise I would be awake most of the night. And looking back now, knowing what I know about mental health, it was probably likely that I was experiencing depression at the time, where it just gone undiagnosed. It wasn't something that I really talked about to anyone. And it wasn't really until my sister caught me having a swig on the gym bottle one night before bed. She caught me, and she told my parents, or told my mum, and mum. It wasn't really until mum sat me down and asked what was going on until I could really tell her how I was feeling, and how long this had been going on for. At that point, mum, being the supportive parent she took me along to the GP, and the GP put me on sleeping pills. So that was sort of really the first step to getting the help that I needed at the time. So getting some good quality sleep, and what we know now is also that sleep plays a significant role in our mental health, and actually not getting enough sleep at night can increase your risk of mental illness by 5 to 17 times. So that was a really important step for me, going forward and looking after myself. And the next step I sort of took, and potentially right or wrong, I wasn't happy doing what I was doing. So mum suggested changing careers, as I was still very young. So I decided to stop accounting and stop studying full time with that, and just focus on de-stress and being happier. So I changed to a labouring role where I was physically active during the day, which is amazing for our mental health. And I started exercising and going back to the gym again, or started going to the gym really for the first time, as previously I played sports. So that really helped again, as that I had that outlet for stress and things like that. And labouring was really so much lower stress for me. My sleep started improving, and what I ended up doing was chasing a passion of mine, and went down to Otago to study sports science, and that sort of got me out of the rut that I was in at the time within Hamilton. My sleep got better, and I was no longer unhappy. So as Mum would put it, I found myself in Dunedin. So shout out to everyone from Dunedin. If you're currently experiencing a challenging time with your mental health, recognize that you might need to reach out to someone for support, or potentially you're the person who's noticing a change within somebody in your networks, whether that's in store or maybe it's with your friends or with your family. Please reach out to them and check that they're okay. Who knows how long I would have lived in that space for if my sister didn't tell my mum that I was using alcohol at night. You don't need to be the one that fixes everything, but you might just be that one person who gets that person the help that they need. Suffering poor mental health or from mental illness isn't a weakness. If anything, it's a strength. Going through that experience has taught me a lot of great things around practicing self-care and the importance of that, and also the importance of looking after sleep health and prioritizing that above everything, making sure that I stay active, and how that makes me feel and impacts the way I think and feel, and also being able to reach out and lean on others when you need is that support network is really, really important. This week is Mental Health Awareness Week, so let's talk a bit about what you do to look after your mental health.